Hello and welcome to another video here on AVForums.com. This time we're looking at the best picture settings for the UE40JU6400 Samsung LED 4K TV. So as we say, we're going to look at the settings that we've come up with on the review sample here that we've had in for review recently. Now these settings are the settings that we obtained in our room with this TV, in our surroundings with our sources, and it will vary. So you may not get the same results as we do looking at these menus, but we'll go through it just to give you some guidelines. So let's look at the first menu, which is picture, and the first setting is picture mode. Now we go through this setting in our Picture Perfect setup guide. What we'd always say is that you should select the movie preset because that is the most accurate out of the box, and we've done the measurements on this TV. So the picture mode that we've chosen on this Samsung TV is movie, and it is the most accurate out of the box setting to get close to the industry standards, which makes sure that the colours on screen are accurate to how the content provider intended them to be. So the next control is the backlight, and this is very much dependent on the room in which you're going to use this TV. We're using it in a light controlled, basically a cinema room, which is light controlled, so we don't need a lot of backlight, and it is a very bright TV this. And on a setting of 7, we had 120 CDM squared, which is our reference point for reviews. Obviously, if you're using the TV in a brighter room with lots of sunlight and so on, you can crank it all the way up to 20. It gets very bright, and you should be able to balance it out so you get a decent picture in a room with lots of ambient light. So anyway, our backlight setting is 7 on this occasion, and next is contrast again. You're going to use a test pattern on a DVD or a Blu-ray to set this up correctly. Some TVs come with built-in patterns. That's not the case with this Samsung. So we settled on 89. Like we say, this is very dependent on the room it's used in and with the test discs, but normally out of the box they're only a couple of clicks out. Sometimes they're bang on. Same for brightness, exactly the same for brightness. Use a test pattern, or generally in the case of most modern TVs, like I say, they're usually a click one way or the other to being bang on. So moving on to sharpness, and we found that taking sharpness all the way down to 0 takes away any possibility of any background sharpening going on, and pictures remain very sharp on this 4K TV at that setting. The colour and the tint settings we're going to leave alone because we're going to do the white balance and the colour gamut separately, so we'll go through them in a little while. Apply picture mode to all sources. That means that anything that you got set up, once you've set up one, you can apply it to all. On this year's Samsung TV's picture size is slightly different to how it was in the past, so you want to make sure that it's set to 16:9 and that fit to screen, if you're using 4K or HD material, is switched on. So we're going to go past these next two options and to advanced settings. Fairly straightforward here. We want black tone and dynamic contrast switching off. We're going to leave flesh tone at 0. We could adjust that and then go in and do our white balance controls, but we found that 0 on this year's TVs is fine. So next we're going to go down to color space, which is selected as custom because we've done our calibration on this. So we're going to go through this quickly if you want to use these settings. Personally, I would advise against it because out of the box, this TV, if yours is anything like the one that we've reviewed here, it's going to be fairly accurate. But very quickly, we've got red, green, blue, yellow, cyan, magenta, and back to red again. And that's the color space. So those settings were done with a meter and the relevant software. Like I say, probably not ideal to copy those to your TV, but if it's as accurate as this one, like we said out of the box, this was really accurate. It was so accurate that I didn't bother with 10-point white balance because 2-point was enough, and those are our settings that we came to in this room for that. So like we say, this was a very accurate TV out of the box. We left gamma at 0, which was fine. So the only other area that we need to go and have a look at are the picture options. So again, colour tone out of the box, warm 2 is the closest to the industry standards. And then we basically left everything else switched off. The only thing here that you may want to mess around with is film mode. When you've got a film source going in, I've got a 4K USB connection at the moment, which is why that's blanked out. You also got Auto Motion Plus, which is going to be very much down to you, and we would recommend a custom setting and then go through and look at that with the material you want to use it with. For sports or fast moving action, we wouldn't use it for movie content, in our opinion. And that's basically our look at the picture settings. The only other settings on this TV are sound. We found that music, if you're using the built-in speakers, was the best option for that in a large room. You have your auto tuning for your digital broadcasting. Network setup was very easy on this with Wi-Fi. It took about 5 minutes to do. You have your smart hub controls and the system controls, and the only thing in here is if you are a gamer, you'll want to go to general and you'll want to switch game mode to on in this area here, which cuts the video processing and makes the input lag very good. And that's it for our general view of the Samsung UE40JU6400 TV. Don't forget we have another video, which is our demo review video. Go and have a look at that, and thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, you can read the full review at avforums.com/reviews. You can also watch more videos at avforums.com/videos. And why not follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Thanks for watching.